All right, so tell me, Mr. Landon, what are we about to build? An egg basket, but not really a basket. We're making an egg container to hold eggs inside of the house, right? For your mom as we get them from the chickens, because this is what you want to do for her birthday, is that right? Yeah. So this is your idea. Now we're gonna see what we can make out of scrap wood, right? See if we can make something that'll hold us, I don't know, 18 to 20 eggs to sit on the shelf inside the house, because eggs don't have to be refrigerated. If they're never refrigerated, they'll actually last, I believe, like 2 or 3 weeks out on the shelf. I think I have to research that, so don't take my word for it specifically. But what we're gonna do, me and Landon, before it starts storming, is cut some stuff down, just some scrap stuff that I got. This is a maple plywood. It definitely doesn't taste like sugar, don't like it. We're gonna chop it down. We know that our area is a 12-inch by 12-inch by 15-inch tall space that we can fit into. And I think if I can make it happen, I think maybe one of the better ideas would be to make it a box with a little drawer system that slides out and let you just grab the eggs out. What do you think of that? Sounds good. Then we can actually keep them in like an age order. So we're gonna get started. You ready? Ready? One day we gotta clean this all up. We started to do it before and then we got busy, but we did finally get the bar out. Woohoo! Bar is gone. We're excited. You excited? We got more space now. You're not as excited as I am though. All right, here we go. So we cut down to 12.5 by 12. We routed out, I believe these are called rabbits or dados. I'm not really sure. So what we're gonna be doing, come down and look at the wood, is this is gonna be our back piece. And I've already got it marked where I wanna route out for the sides. It's gonna set up like so. We're gonna route out for the sides. We're going 3/8 of an inch deep, which is half of our 3/4 inch plywood. We are lining up really, really nice with our lines. Come in right here. So we're lining up good. So we can glue and pin nail, clamp it together as a box, and hopefully it will dry. We're also on the sides, say this was our side piece, we're gonna route some shelves in here to make it to where that the eggs can just slide in and out. Okay?
Okay.
All right, let's get started with some routing. Go to route something, make sure that you do clearly mark whatever side of the board that you're gonna be routing so that you don't route the wrong section. Also, come down here to the router. We don't wanna take off the full amount in one swipe. We wanna make multiple passes so it doesn't have a lot of tear out and so it's not so hard on the router itself. Now, you're gonna film us route out a dado or a rabbit or whatever they call it. I'm gonna double check, make sure I'm on the right side. To get the dust collection set up for my router because this is a mess. But that's coming. Everything's slow and sure. And I didn't start off with a whole bunch of money to make it all really pretty and perfect. So we're dealing with what I got. Now for me to get the exact length of the plywood, I'm gonna close my gap, twist my thing around, pull my fence up to it. Make sure that I'm at the furthest point. Tighten my fence down. Reopen my fence where I can't catch it. Lock it into place. By the way, this is an Incra lift with a the router table comes from those people. I'll tell you in a minute because right now my brain went blank. Rockler. I'm not funded by any of them or anything of that nature. Here we go again. We're gonna finish our pack. Clean cut, sharp rider bits will help out. So now we have got our bottom, our back, which everything is lining up great. I'm excited and ecstatic. And our top, but we still have to do the sides because it's not going to hold the top up for me this way. So now we got to know what our sides measure at lengthwise, and it should be 3/8 of an inch shorter than 12 inches. So if we go, you all right?
Yeah.
If we go to 11 5/8 inches on our width, we ought to have right that. Always make sure you're going to cut the right side, and always make sure that the cameraman gets the person talking. Always use a push tape. Keep your fingers safe. Too many people, even really good woodworking people, really good carpenters, really good people who know how to do this stuff, have cut their fingers off. Let's keep them. Now let's see if we fit. Alright, so we've got a pretty well fit box, a dry fit together just to make sure that we're going to be right, and we will be. Now we've got to measure out to know where our dados are going to be on the inside for a sliding in and out shelf. Right?
Right.
And we've got about 13.5 inches of open space by roughly 11 inches open space this way.
11/8.
Now, we know that the egg set 3 inches tall, so we've got to have space for a shelf plus 3 inches. Our material is 3/4 of an inch thick. So if we have 3 shelves in there, your 3/4 plus 3/4 is 1.5 inches. Plus 3/4 is 2 1/4. So there's 2 1/4 inches of your space already taken up and out of your box. Okay? Are you with me?
Yes.
So if you have 2 1/4 inches already out of your space, out of the, what did we say? 13.5? Let's call it 13 1/4. That'll give us some breathing room. So 13 1/4 minus 2 1/4. What do you got? 11 inches. 11 inches.
Oh, 11, yes.
You got 3-inch eggs, okay, that are setting up on top of this. You got 3 and 3 and 3, that's 9 for the 3 shelves. So we can make it with a little bit of extra space in there. We put one on the bottom, one in the middle, one toward the top, 3 shelves at 11
Or doing like
by 11.
old, newer, newest, or new.
That's up to the lady that's putting them in there.
Oldest.
We should be able to get 6. We should be able to get 9 eggs by almost 9 eggs. 18 eggs on the bottom, 18 in the middle, and 18 on the top row. That's a lot of eggs. What's 18 plus 18 is 36 plus 18 is what?
Why don't we just do 18 times 3?
Right. So we had to run our dados on the table saw, and the table saw is just so loud and noisy. My little helper had to kind of go away. But we have got it set up, and we're going to go ahead and glue the back and the top in place, or the back and the top in place. Oh, we got a guitar player out there tonight.
I thought my ears were playing tricks with me just because I hear him all day doing that. But he's actually doing it. He's never played it outside.
He's even singing.
Make sure that you put them on in the right direction, otherwise you'll be redoing it.
last night we finished with gluing up the box at all of its joints, and then we clamped it all up, made sure that it was going to dry properly, left it overnight. I went back with the chisel and kind of cleaned up the dados for the drawer slides. For the drawers, they're not going to be drawer slides. Let's see, got it the wrong way. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a little front on it for a handle, a little finger hole. You just grab and pull out, and I will paste wax the inside so that it slides a little bit better. I did put a slight round over on that. Everything still has to have a little sand into it, but put a little slight round over so it wouldn't catch on anything. And then my idea, knowing where my edges are, is using a Forstner bit, putting a hole in lines in a graph, or however you want to say it. Then using my router, rounding over the thing to where that an egg will just sit inside. In each one, and then find out exactly how many we can hold. For the front, for the handles, because it is a maple plywood, doesn't make it maple, but it is a maple plywood, I have cut some extra pieces of walnut that I had, and I think I'm going to shape them, put a little hole in it for a drawer pull, and use it to where that it pulls in and out like so with the walnut. And just make it kind of pretty. Anyway, we'll see. We're gonna get back to working here.
These people will want to see this.
So, this is Landon's birthday present to his mom. Like I said, we've got the maple plywood. I did edge band it with actual walnut for hardwood edge banding. It will hold 72 eggs. Cool little fireball. Alright, now let's put the finishing touch on it and call it done. Add a little oil and it comes to life and makes it pretty and shiny. Just that walnut and brings it to life. Very pretty. Happy birthday to my wife from my son, but I did the work. He was out here though. He helped sand some stuff.